Yeah, let's hit that here, Tom, because the way I kind of want to handle this, because over the last 48, 72 hours, just red hot rumors that maybe Lamar doesn't want to be in Baltimore anymore. Baltimore's done with him. I'm sorry, it's tough to set you up when you take a sip from a coffee mug of you with your beautiful white dog. But, it threw me off. Lamar is gone from Baltimore because they're finally going to separate after all these years. And then Lamar comes out and it's like, what is everybody talking about? I'm not falling asleep in meetings. Everything is fine here. We all heard the Joe Burrow cryptic stuff, but he says he really likes it where he is. So I'm going to set this up with an overreaction Monday subject matter that Brockman gave me this week.
Let's go.
It's very rare that I do this. But the subject matter was a face of the franchise quarterback will be traded this offseason. What's your opinion? Is that an overreaction or it's not?
I mean, face of the franchise, I put that in the category of it's the Lamars and the Burrows and the Josh Allens of the world. Listen, in the modern NFL, we've seen some crazy stuff happen, Rich. I'm not sitting here anticipating that you get those types of moves. If we focus specifically on Lamar, there were some of those things that came out in that Baltimore Sun column that, certainly have been, circulating in the past. Is there a degree of frustration that Lamar's not around that much in the offseason? Sure. But those are voluntary workouts. He's able to make that choice. He prefers to train down there in Florida. Are there things that maybe Lamar could do differently, whether it's from a diet standpoint, off-season workouts, whatever? I mean, those are all fair discussions. I've never been told that he has fallen asleep in a meeting. I have not talked to anyone who have seen him asleep in a meeting. But I think the overarching picture here is you've got a player who is an extraordinary talent. I know Lamar, a little bit personally. I like Lamar a lot. Everybody who's around him, gets the juice from him. He's a two-time NFL MVP, but he's been banged up. 3 of the last 4 years, he's been, really banged up with different stuff down the stretch of the season. And so what you're trying to figure out is that solely Lamar? Are there environmental factors? Are there things coaching-wise that need to change? I do not get any sense. And Rich, a lot of things can happen, right? We're going to have a lot more answers on all this after Sunday night, and then whatever discussions occur into the week. I do not have any indication right now that John Harbaugh is in danger of being fired. That would really surprise me. There's a reason Steve Bisciotti is stuck with him for 18 seasons and running now. But clearly, there's things that they need to talk through here when you're coming off of a pretty disappointing season to this point that still could take a turn. And if they play like they did last week in Green Bay and Derrick Henry's just running all over everybody, maybe they go in the playoffs, maybe they make some noise, and this all just becomes background into the offseason. But it's no secret that they had some level of contract talks with Lamar last summer. That did not yield a deal. Dealing with Lamar, who doesn't have an agent, is always a different process. I don't know that a player who a couple of years ago, Rich, so we talked a lot about this, and why was no one willing to give up 2 first-round picks when he was franchise tagged? Why were they not willing to make that deal? The idea that a player now who's a couple of years older and has had injuries, like he has almost this entire season, is suddenly become more valuable, and people are going to be banging down their door to do a $60 million a year contract and give up major draft capital that would make you move them. That seems a tad illogical. Again, we'll see what discussions take place in the coming days. What happens on Sunday night is certainly going to be a part of that conversation. It would surprise me if Lamar Jackson is not a Baltimore Raven in 2026, but we're early here, Rich, and if you line it up on paper right now, there are maybe a dozen teams in the entire NFL that you can say, we know who their starting quarterback is going to be in 2026.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.